Cynthia Keith, Dog Park Alliance. Hey, Miss Cynthia, how are you this morning? Welcome to KEEL.
Doing well. Good morning.
We've been going back and forth here because, we're kind of elderly and
we're not.
and
He is
feeble and our memories are failing. How long has the dog park been closed? When did it, for lack of a better term, go under?
Oh, gosh, I believe it was the end of February. And what a lot of people don't understand is that it put a layer of muddy silt all in there. Nothing's damaged, but that mud just stayed wet, and equipment could not get in, people could not get in, and it's just really taken as long for that to get dried up.
See, that was kind of what I wanted to start off with. Are you, as the mover and the shaker, the motivator for the building of this originally, since the flood, since it closed, are you happy with the efforts that the city has made to get it open again?
Well, it was really more like we just had to wait our turn. They started at Riverview Park, which I guess they thought was priority, and understandably so. There are a lot of events going on down there. And they moved down the parkway. I was a little upset when I saw Hamill Memorial Park getting a little makeover first, but I think that was an easier fix. It's just one of those things.
So what has the city done to this point?
Actually, if you go and you look at the dog park now, you would never know that there was ever a problem. They've gotten the tractors in and they've scraped the sidewalks, which was really the largest problem. The grass has grown and they've cut it, so it looks great. The fountain is going again in the pond. The water fountains are working. There's only one thing that I see that needs big city attention, and that's the little wash stations. After the dogs swim in our little red pond, they need their rinsing, and they're still going to have to work on those. Okay,
so the only thing that maintenance-wise the city needs to do is it's, at this point, kind of little bitty stuff, right?
Well, yeah, and that's what a lot of the volunteers are going to do. We're going to power wash in those places that the tractors and scrapers couldn't get to. We're going to plant some flowers, just like they did down at Riverview Park. We're going to wash down the picnic tables that are inside of the dog park. A little detailing, I believe, would be all that the volunteers will have to do.
And the volunteer day is tomorrow. Tell us when, where people should show up, and what do they need to bring?
It's going to be at 7 a.m., so we'll be on the cool part of the day. If they'll bring some shovels, some brooms, maybe some old towels to wash down some things. The city, I believe, is going to have some power washers out there, maybe little planting tools out there, some water, comfortable clothes, and a smile.
Okay. You're going to clean up tomorrow. When can Tiger come pee on the benches again?
Well, from what the city says, as soon as possible after it's all cleaned up.
What is for...
Does that mean a week? That mean 3 more months?
Well, they were reluctant to give me a date because they knew I'd go on KEEL Radio and tell everybody.
Now, is the city going to have to do some final walkthrough, some kind of inspection? And you had mentioned the biggest reason it wasn't open to this point, even without the stuff you volunteers are going to do, is because there's still some maintenance, some repairs to do. How long? I mean, you guys can work out there 12 hours a day for a month, but if the city doesn't wrap up, you can't reopen, right?
Oh, well, I imagine they could reopen and still do some of the little things that need to be done. When you build something, you go back and you look at it and you say, I wish I could have done this a little differently. There are some things like these wash stations I was talking about that stay muddy. They're going to put some concrete around those wash stations and some other little things like that. Now, I don't know if they'd have to close the dog park later for a day to do that, or if they will wait to do that before we open. I'm not sure, but there's some upgrades to come, and it's going to be better than it was before.
Okay, Cynthia, one thing that we hear I hear this from one of my dearest friends. Why'd we spend so much money on the dog park when we need to fix our roads? We need better police protection. Can you please explain that to people so they understand?
Right. The bulk of this money, besides sponsors, besides donations from you and me, the largest part of the money came from the Red River Waterway Commission, and the only place they can do things would be on the river and the shore of the river. So if we didn't use that money for the shore of the river, it just would not be used.
Natchitoches would get it or somebody else, right?
Well, now, those particulars, I'm not sure exactly how that works. but you can't use it for roads or schools or anything like that. It's recreation on the riverfront and maintenance of the river itself.